Hi guys, you got Ryan
and Jamie,
and we decided to come to you guys with a new thing that we're trying out. We're going to call it Pinot Parents, where once our baby goes down for a nap, or maybe it's nighttime, as you see it's probably daytime, or for our Spotify listeners you don't know, but it's daytime now, and we wanted to try something different where we'll have discussions over some wine once a week. We're going to try a different wine, see how it tastes. Regardless, that's not the main thing. We want to really just get into a conversation and just bring you guys into our world. And maybe if you agree some of the things you don't. If you do or don't, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe. Tell us how you feel. Let us know what you want to talk about or want us to talk about next on our next Pinot Parent video. Without further ado, Mrs. Clinkscales.
yes.
Would you like to do the honors of opening the first bottle of wine? This episode's wine is Buckshack Cabernet Sauvignon. I hope I said that right. We got that from Costco, right?
Yeah, get it from Costco.
It was like $20 for one bottle.
I don't remember, but it had a cool bottle, so we got that one.
Nice. All right, got our handy dandy automatic wine opener.
Thanks to my parents.
Got that off a good old deal. So how do you feel? Are you excited to do this?
I'm excited, and it's kind of weird, but I'm like, we've been wanting to do something like this for so long.
If those are people that are just listening, that's the wine opener. I know it might be a little loud. Maybe I'll kind of cut that down in post. But yeah, and we're a little ghetto, so we're probably just gonna like fill this thing halfway up. I know like the wine connoisseurs, they like do that little bit, you swish it around.
It smells really good. Also, even though we're called Pinot Parents, we won't only just drink Pinot. Like, this is Cabernet, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that right.
Yeah, you did. So I'm excited. So this episode we're gonna do about communication. Jamie and I have been married since 2016. Oh.
I don't want it to spill on the carpet.
We've been married since 2016. We've been together since 2012. We've came a long way. We're not, completely there yet as far as like how life is supposed to be, but we've done a lot of things in our time that
we don't have 60 years under our belt.
Yeah,
it's been fun so far.
It's no shade to anybody that's been together for years. We'll flip that around too. So, we'll start off. I mean, we've been together since 2012. We were young. You were 18.
I was 18, about to be 19 in a month.
And I was headed towards
22.
22.
You were 21, turning 22.
Yeah, how was that? I mean, being together. Let's cheers this, actually.
Cheers. Wait, are you gonna hold it in your mouth and like do the wine thing?
I don't know. I mean, is that what they're supposed to do?
Yeah, you
Normally
swish
supposed
it.
to have cheese. We got chips over
Like
here.
usually you swish and spit, but we'll swish and drink.
Oh, we don't spit out good alcohol. I mean, who does that? Wow. It's pretty good.
Woo!
It's like oaky. Is that what they say? Oaky?
Let's see if you're right. Try to guess.
Let's see.
You have to name 3 different
Descriptors?
adjectives.
So I'd say it's oaky.
Wait, I have to find where the label is.
You're reading it.
Wait, I mean...
I'd say oaky, rich, has like a citrusy to it.
Well, normally wines say it on the back, but this one doesn't give you anything.
Well, it's good. It tastes good. How about that? Does that work with you?
Sure.
So, we've been together since 2012. We were really young. We both were very interested in each other when we met each other at that hookah lounge. And technically, we met each other at American Eagle, and I worked there at American Eagle. I was a jeans specialist.
Like 3 years before.
And she came in, and I was like adamant she needed an interview, so I like pressed to get her an interview because she came in and she was absolutely beautiful. And she came in, and I got her interview. Unfortunately, she didn't get the job.
I didn't, and you know what? It's because I never had a job before. It's so hard, if anyone's like around that age 16 who can get a job now, it's so hard to say work history, none. They're not going to hire you. So thank you, Chuck E. Cheese, for giving me a chance.
Shout out to Chuck E. Cheese. Charles Cheese.
Charles Cheese.
Charles Cheese. But we were together, and we started dating, and I was this like naive, arrogant young kid that was like, all right, now is my time for love. After I've been out there in the world, I've traveled, I've hung out with all my friends. I was a little bit over that whole scene, and then she came into my life at the perfect time, and it worked out for a little bit. And my arrogance showed, and I started to be, young Ryan, think I can go party all the time and hang out with friends, and communication started to set in where we didn't have that communication, and it pushed us to the edge, and she could have just easily walked out. But I think that over the years, once we had an opportunity to get to know each other and to establish our relationship and air out each other's issues in life and understand each other from where we needed to grow and how we needed to grow, I think that really helped us get to where we need to be. For the most part, a lot of people at that age range think that once you get in a relationship, like everything's supposed to be this fairy tale perfect thing and we're going to get married off the bat. That's how, if you agree, I don't know.
Well,
that's how I feel.
Well, marriage just is like this beautiful, great thing, especially now that it's all over social media. And everyone do it for the gram, like all that kind of stuff. And you see these gorgeous weddings, but nobody talks about like what it took to get there, and then how it is after you get married. Because once that you're like on this roller coaster and you get to the top and like that's the marriage, and then after you get married, you don't want to go down, but you want to like keep everything going. And
it's weird because like my parents have been married for over 30 years. And you see the ups and downs in marriages, but they always work together. And that to me was like my golden standard of no matter what you go through, you're supposed to work it out. Even if you get on each other's nerves, because sometimes you get on my nerves. And I know I get on your nerves. I probably get on your nerves more than you get on my nerves. But a lot of people see that once you start to get irritated with each other, like that's the breakup point.
Like this is not going to work. I can't deal with this.
Right. And you don't see each other's flaws, and you're quick to say, well, I can find something better. And it may be the truth where you could find something better. You may be with the wrong person. You're just not compatible. But in our sense, we've seen the potential in each other. And I saw who you were, and you were a growing young woman, and I'm a growing young man, and both of us had our flaws. How can we make this work out with each other? Mistakes are made, and you learn from your mistakes. So I made a lot of mistakes. You made a lot of mistakes. You make mistakes together. How can you come out of that and say, hey, we did it this way, and this didn't work. How can we do it where we can continue to grow and do better and not make those same mistakes?
And like say that stuff out loud to each other, not just like he's thinking that to himself and I'm thinking this to myself, and then you stress yourself out because you're not putting it out there. And that kind of like brings me to the point of don't let too many people into the relationship.
Absolutely. I think when you involve too many people in a relationship, let me take a step back. I think that the second you involve other people in your relationship without including your significant other, you're opening up doors to other people that are giving you opinions on things that they don't relate to. For example, if you had an argument about how bills were paid, but somebody is giving you advice on how you should pay your bills with your significant other that hasn't been with a significant other, you're getting all this information and it may not work for you, or it may work for you. That may be good advice, but if you follow that advice as Bible or scripture, you're not giving yourself a chance to grow. I'm taking advice from somebody that can't offer me something, or my significant other, some information that can help us grow. They could be bringing you down at the same time. People that get too close in your relationship and then you start having sidebar conversations about, well, they didn't do this, or she didn't do that, or he didn't do this. You're allowing them to dictate, well, what you need to do in that relationship. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kind of went off a little tangent, but involving too many people in your relationship can, kind of bring you backwards, take some steps backwards.
Well, especially because if you were venting to other people about problems in the relationship, they're only hearing your side. They're not hearing the other person's side, and you've probably not heard your partner's side either. So you don't even know how they're kind of like truly feeling at that moment. And especially if it's like more of a fighting situation or an argument that the significant others have, and you make up with your significant other, now the person who you vented to is going to have in their heads, oh, well, he did this to you and I don't like that. Or she did this to you and that's not okay. I can't believe you're like still with this person. Whether you're married or not, in a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, fiancés, married, it doesn't matter.
It's okay to tell your significant other too, as far as communication goes, and we can hear the baby monitor. Baby's moving around, so we're listening. She's in her room. But, I don't forget what I was saying. This wine's pretty good.
You had like 3 sips.
Yeah, but it's good. It tastes good.
It is really good.
It's good. It's good stuff. But having the conversation with your significant other where you could say, I don't like when you do this. But also coming up with a solution saying, I don't like that you do this. Can maybe you try it out this way instead? And being open to change. I can't stand... Uh-oh.
That was like 15 minutes.
That was not very long.
Ghost cry.
Okay. Bad dream? Maybe. Nope.
She's probably just flipping over.
Yeah, let's just give her a
She needs
second.
to readjust. Her toe probably got caught in the knitted blanket.
Yeah.
That was crocheted for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
She just has to loosen the toe up a little bit.
Yeah. We'll try it. But having that conversation with your significant other and saying, I don't like that you do this, but coming up with a compromise. If it's... Well...
How long do you guys let your kids cry during a nap?
I'll go check.
Because a lot of times she'll just fall back asleep in like 2 minutes.
Oh, no, she's up.
She's up. You want to bring her in?
Sure.
Well, first episode, you're going to meet the baby from Pinot Parents. My poor baby. Let me turn this monitor off. Paisley.
You interrupted our podcast. Now you have to be featured. Look at your hair.
She looks like she just woke up from a nap. Hi, baby. Did you have a good nap?
Well, first episode, she woke up in 15 minutes, so we'll try it out better next time. But,
Side
again,
note, we decided to record during nap time because if we recorded while she was asleep, that's when mommy and daddy get to sleep. So last night we tried this and we were just way too tired, so we're trying nap time.
Yeah. So, here, we'll put you up because I don't know if you're in the frame. But, yeah, compromise in a relationship, talking to your spouse and saying, or your significant other, letting them know, hey, I didn't like that you did this, but let's try it this way. If it's always to the point where I don't like this, change, and you're not willing to offer up any change, then the relationship isn't going anywhere. It becomes all about you. Yeah, it's wine. You can't have any. But I think that on a communication standpoint, if you don't talk about your issues, because there's always issues with everybody. Nobody's perfect. Nobody goes into a relationship and says, I like everything about you, so let's make this work.
Even the little petty things.
Like petty things. Before we had a nice refrigerator, we had ice trays.
Oh,
And,
our first
like,
apartment.
Our first apartment.
Aww.
And you would, I don't like ice. I don't put ice on my drinks unless it's really necessary.
Weird.
So she would crack the ice trays and empty them onto the counter and then put the ice cubes in her cup. And it would irritate the mess out of me. And I said something before, but then my dad was always in the back of my mind, like, pick your battles. Is it really your battle, or are you just not liking what you see? And me not liking ice, even though I thought it was weird that she emptied out into the counter, that wasn't my argument. Why am I picking a battle about this when I don't even enjoy ice in my cup?
He did make fun of me, though, and obviously still brings it up to this day, but I think it's actually really funny. Because my sister does the same thing.
Y'all weird. I don't even like ice, though. It's weird. It, like, burns your teeth. It gets in the way.
I never, growing up, did ice trays. My parents had an ice maker on their refrigerator.
We did, too. But, like, ice trays, like, I just seen that whole action. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Okay, but if you do the ice tray and crack that thing, you're just going to pick one ice cube at a time?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, because you want all the ice cubes in your one cup from the whole tray.
All the ice. So when I go to like a fast food restaurant, I don't get ice because you get more of your drink in your cup, but you add ice, you get like a tiny little sip, like all done, no more Baja Blast.
Agree to disagree because
that's fine.
Okay, who out there like this video if you like a full cup of ice with some drink?
That's such a waste. Comment down below if you like the more drink, less ice.
Or no ice, or all ice. Who chews on ice?
Those people that chew ice, they might be serial killers.
I kind of like to chew the crunchy ice.
So that's that smell coming from the basement.
Oh my god!
We don't have a basement.
Daddy's funny.
Oh no, Daddy's not funny. Daddy. But I don't know. We're not going to sit here and talk about our whole relationship. I think that communication is so important, though, in relationships. If you don't communicate, you're clapping, and I can see the levels on the recorder, and everybody can hear you laugh the whole time. And you got a nap print going on. What's going on here? Communication is so important. I can't stress that enough. I think that's the gateway to a complete relationship. People will tell you all the time, like, don't go to sleep mad. The motive behind that statement is because you need to communicate before you go to sleep. You need to communicate, period.
It probably sounds like the cheesiest piece of advice is don't go to sleep mad. Everyone tells you that. And literally do not go to sleep mad because you will wake up the next morning and spend the rest of the day in a bad mood, arguing. And maybe you're not arguing, maybe you got over the argument, but then now there's still like some weird tension because you guys didn't work it out ahead of time and now you just wasted another day.
You know the worst part about being upset in your relationship and like having to communicate before you do that, like you're just mad and you want some time alone. It's like when your partner goes by and you see them looking like a snack. Oh man, that's the worst. Like they're looking so fine, but I'm like, oh, I can't stand you right now, and we gotta have this conversation because I'm mad about what you did earlier in Costco. But I gotta talk about it. But man, you look good. That's the most frustrating
that does
part.
suck.
Because you be looking good, girl. I see you walk past, I'm like, ooh, I can't stand her. But come give me a kiss. Nah, not right now. Though.
She's reaching for the wine, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you can have your baby monitor. Wow.
That's how you deflect right there. No wine, but try baby monitor instead.
Yeah, deflect. My dad is a huge believer of deflecting, or what is he? I forgot what he calls it, but basically deflecting. Don't keep saying no. Just be like, oh wow, that's cool, and replace it with something else.
Because the more you say no, that becomes their first word.
And we learned that the hard way because Paisley, when she was learning how to talk, no. Super attitude. Can you do it?
No.
She's too sleepy
now you
right
don't
now.
want to do it now. Now it's I'm just gonna chill and not tell you no. But it's the worst. We were in the grocery store and she tried to grab something off the aisle. I was like, no, don't do that. And she's like, no. And this lady looked at me and I'm like, don't look at me. Yeah, you don't tell me no. Mm-hmm. Deflect. Speaking of kids, man, having a kid is awesome. I know this is like a communication episode. So I'm going to communicate on how being a parent is awesome.
And how you have to communicate with a child.
Yes.
So that was beforehand. That was before kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is with kids.
With kids, communicating on how you want to raise your kid, what you want them to eat. You may disagree. Like I'm adamant. Like I didn't really want her eating McDonald's and things like that. But sometimes a baby can crave a chicken nugget, and I got over that. And Jamie was like, she's fine with a Happy Meal every once in a while. I didn't grow up eating Happy Meals, by the way. My parents was like, that's a waste of food. Like that's not a waste of food. That's not enough food. You're not gonna eat enough. You want a chip? Here, I'll bite off the edges. Sorry for those people listening.
I was going to say I want to hear that ASMR right now.
But no, we didn't eat Happy Meals, so I was like, whatever. She doesn't eat Happy Meals. But Jamie grew up eating Happy Meals, right?
I sure did. Well, actually, I specifically remember We always, sorry, Mom. We always used to go to KFC and get those kids. I forgot what they're called. There's like a really cute name for the kids meals, but it came in like this box before they had boxes, like those Taco Bell boxes, and you would open it. It's like mashed potatoes and chicken strips and a toy and something else.
I don't know about that life.
Those were bomb.
Mm-mm.
But
kids only wanted Happy Meals for the toy, though. Let's be real.
That's true, because otherwise you can just get the value 4-piece chicken nuggets and call it a day.
Yeah, $1.49, it'd be all right. But now you got to
Burger
spend
King
$6. You're yelling at the mic
$6
for like a Happy Meal. Like, why
That's more than our meals.
You're paying for the toy.
You're definitely paying for the toy. However, she does like her toys.
Yeah, she likes her toy and water bottles.
And boxes.
And boxes. And a vacuum cleaner when it's off.
When it's off.
When it's off.
She was acting all tough, and then Ryan turns the vacuum on and acts like he's going to vacuum her, and she ran to me in fear. It was sad and funny at the same time.
She'll be all right. Baba? No, there's no Baba. That's wine.
That's not a Baba.
That's wine. But yeah, this episode is about communication. We just went way left field. We'll do better next time.
Okay, let's bring it in then.
Mm-hmm.
Communication. So communication during pregnancy.
Oh yeah.
How you're going to communicate, or how you want to raise your children. That's a huge discussion.
Oh yeah.
When you're like planning on getting pregnant, or when you're pregnant, like talk about everything. Ryan used to annoy me with, well, what happens if our kid does this? What are you gonna do? For example, what are you gonna do if Paisley were in the store and she just smacks you in the face? What are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, honey. She's not gonna smack me. It's fine.
I'm like, no, that's not how things go. I mean, hopefully our kid's not out here smacking us. But like, you got to think like hypothetical. Hypotheticals are so important because you have to know what's gonna happen if that situation were to arise. I don't believe in spanking kids. I don't believe in beating kids. I will know your hand, and I will send you to your room, and I will give you the look.
The disappointment look.
But I had to get the look for the camera for those watching on YouTube. But you got to know what you're getting into, and a lot of people, are like, oh, we'll figure it out when the time comes. But why not plan ahead and understand what you want to do once you raise that kid? You either plan for a kid or you don't. Some things happen, and some things are planned for. There's no shade on anybody that plans for a kid or doesn't plan for a kid. It's all about how you raise the kid. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's so important to understand each other on a relationship level, because when it's all said and done, the most important part of that process of pregnancy, of having a kid, is the kid, right? So you want to know what each other, what each of you will have to understand and prepare for during the relationship. Don't feed Pokey. He doesn't need chips. You have to understand what each of you want to go through and how you want to raise that child. You may not agree on everything, but again, you have to communicate that with each other, because if you don't communicate that with each other, it's just going to create problems in your bedroom. Potato chips. Create problems in your bedroom, and then create a long-lasting problem that could affect the long-term decision you made, the child.
Yeah. Like, for example, I thought we had it all figured out, and then yesterday we're at the grocery store, and Paisley's just bawling her eyes out, screaming, crying. I was like, oh no, it's happening. I saw a bin full of stuffed animals, and I was like, oh look, I have an idea. Got her a stuffed animal, paid for it, gave it to her, and then later on, Ryan was like, that was a really cute stuffed animal, but I don't want her to think that she can get something every time we go to the store. And I was like, I know, I had that in the back of my head. And
we had that discussion before. That was a conversation that we had. And it's not faulting Jamie. Jamie was just in a situation where Paisley's crying. It's during the coronavirus panic. We're there to get groceries. We're trying to calm down and be safe and keep the 6 feet distance. But Paisley's not having it today. And normally she's the sweet baby you guys see on our Instagrams. But that day she just wasn't having it, and In that situation, Jamie's resolution was to get her a giant unicorn, and it worked. But
also, it's almost her birthday, so I was like, we didn't get her a present yet. Here's her birthday present.
We're gonna get her a present.
I know. That was in my head. That was my excuse. Mm-hmm. But so like that type of communication, like Ryan didn't hold that in and build it up and let it boil over the next couple of months while I keep doing that until he just can't take it anymore and like blows up and explodes. Like as soon as something happens that you may have like a note about for your significant other or anything like that, just like bring it up. It doesn't have to be a big situation. Like, hey, just like be aware, like be self-aware. This is what happened today.
You guys ever see those people that argue in public places?
Oh my gosh.
I refuse to be that person. So when I saw her buying the unicorn, I was like, okay, we'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later. So we had a discussion. Paisley went down for a nap, and I was like, the unicorn's cute, but let's try to not make her mind know that every time she's in that car seat at the grocery store, like, I get something. And that's no blame to Jamie. She did what she had to do in the situation, but I had to tell her that because I had to get it off my chest. But if I held that in, just like Jamie said, if I held that in for so long and Jamie did it every day and every day I just ignored it and just like, oh, I can't stand that she does that. How dare she? And I ignored it. And then 6 months down the road when I'm mad about something else completely and that comes out, that's like one of the, oh, and you also do this. You buy toys for Paisley every time. Like, you could have solved that.
Or like when it comes out and you've been bottling up and then you're like, friends are asking you, so how's everything going? What have you guys been up to? Well, Jamie is doing all this.
Yeah, like why does everything have to be so negative?
I've seen that happen a lot. I mean, for example, like I'm thinking of shows. We were just watching a show that happened to and they were being super like passive aggressive about how their relationship was going. Oh my gosh.
Weren't you just watching This Is Us? Like, wasn't that? I don't watch that show.
Oh wait, This Is Us.
I don't watch that show, but I would just like walk past.
Oh, I can't remember what show it was. We're in the middle of so many shows. And I'm in the middle of so many shows myself. When Ryan plays GTA, best believe I will be watching my Netflix or Hulu show that he hates rom-coms.
Oh, can't stand them.
Love them. My favorite.
Can't stand them. But that's a good point, though. You also need time away from each other. After all of your communication that you're doing, take some time. You may live in the same house, especially during quarantine.
Yeah.
Separate yourselves from some time. Remember that you're still an individual person in that you deserve your own time away from each other. So, yeah, I'll go play PlayStation and she'll watch The Voice.
And then what we do with the baby is, well, I have a broken ankle right now, so mostly Ryan takes care of her. But when my ankle's not broken, it's 50-50 too. Just because Ryan says, I'm going to go play GTA with the guys for like 10 hours, that doesn't mean he can't.
10 hours?
I'm exaggerating.
Okay.
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, there you go. Don't make me sound like I'm
I like to double what I'm talking about to make it sound more dramatic. Who else does this? But like, yeah, split the time. So Ryan will be with her for like 30 minutes to an hour. Whatever she needs during that time is up to him, and then he'll trade her off, and then I'll trade her off. Super about that 50%, 50-50, childcare, anything, any responsibilities. It's so much easier when you discuss and communicate.
Communicate. Word of the day.
Communicate. Like your roles in the relationship, and it's not just like the men's roles and the women's roles and all that stuff. Yeah. Because it could be the men's and the men's or the women's and the women's. Just split those roles at 50-50 and it will be so much easier.
Parenting doesn't have specific gender roles, by the way. Dad should change diapers, mom should change diapers. Dad should put the babies to sleep, mom should put the babies to sleep. I think that we've gotten so far in life that we should recognize that, you know, dad isn't just the one that's out there paying the bills and mom stay at home. Unless you do that, and that's no shade to stay-at-home moms. And that's the system that you work.
Yeah, if that works for you, 100%, like, that's what works for you, and there's no knock or no shade to that. Specifically for us, because we both work, we're currently furloughed, but we hope to have our jobs back soon.
Please.
But we are both working parents, so that makes it easier to split all the other responsibilities 50-50 as well. We work at the same job.
Yeah, that works out great.
So everything's pretty much split. If it doesn't feel split, I mean, but chivalry is still not dead. He still doesn't let me walk on the street side of the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't raised like that.
He still opens my doors.
Yeah, I was raised like
which
that.
I love. I love that. But still 50-50.
50-50. But, certain things that you were raised that you do that, aren't damaging to gender roles, you still should do. I always open the door for you. Always stand on the outside of the street because I got to push you out the harm's way, and take that, boom, right to the life. Man, good man.
Mm-hmm. Or it pulls my seat out. It's like, and obviously you don't have to do that all the time. Some women actually don't like that. Like, I have a couple of girlfriends who don't like that, and that's totally fine too. I get why you wouldn't. Actually, funny story. We're going to bring it back for one last story is on our first date, I was driving a car. Ryan was driving a motorcycle at the time. And I told him, I'm like, I'm not riding on the back of your motorcycle. You can forget that because I'm a chicken. And he's like, no, I don't want you on the back of it anyways. It's fine. Just for like safety reasons. And so we met up at a Stations Casino in Las Vegas, in Henderson, to go see a movie. And we were leaving the movie and I drove there because I was like, I'm just going to meet you there, come in my car and we'll go in together. We came out and he walks to my side of the door and I thought he was going to start driving us because he was like that kind of gentleman. I'm like, oh no, I'll drive. You're not driving. And he was like, I'm opening the door for you.
I was so taken back. I was like, am I on the right date? But
I had sadly no one's ever opened the door for me. However, I mean, I was only 18, but I had been on dates before and that hadn't happened. So I was super drawn back and I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Like, that was super embarrassing.
I was taken back. But I also knew, I was like, this is the one for me because she hasn't experienced somebody that would open doors for her. So I'll always open her door so she knows. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and conclude it here. Paisley is getting a little restless if you haven't heard. We'll try to do better on episode 2. She only took a 15-minute nap. Yeah, do you have anything to say, Paisley?
More chips.
Chips?
Those are for Papa on your birthday. But it's okay. We'll just eat them now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it here. We're going to try to do this once a week. We don't want to be drinking wine every day. But we're going to try to bring more stuff to our YouTube channel. For our Spotify listeners, I appreciate you following us. It's a blessing to be able to do things like this. We spent a lot of time. We did take a long hiatus from YouTube, only for personal reasons. We did buy a new house. We were doing a lot of planning to do this, to buy the dream house that we wanted. So we took a lot of time away. I know our last video was like about coronavirus, and the one before that was the baby shower. So our goal now is to put out more content. If you guys still love us, please subscribe, like, follow us on Instagram. I'm at I Swear He's Weird. You're at
J Messy.
We'll put them
in the description box
below. And for the Spotify users, do your best to find us.
Also, if you guys have any suggestions for what we can do next week, or topics you want to discuss, it doesn't even have to be like in relationships. It can be before we were in a relationship, single-wise, I was a single teenager, so you were already over 21.
Well,
we have different perspectives.
Yeah, different. I was only single in my 20s for a year.
2, basically.
2.
I don't know.
If you want to hear the story, we'll let you know.
There's lots of stories. We could give advice from like where we were, or even if we've never been through what you're going through, we'd love to talk about it and get to know you guys too.
And if you got some wine suggestions.
Yes.
I like to get lit.
I will suggest.
It's a good wine.
This one for you guys, and it's cute.
Mm-hmm. And
it's like message in a bottle.
Any wine companies out there that want to, sponsor us, we got you. we'll make sure the child's not in the video, so, you know.
Or if you like the child in the video, let us know.
Sylvania. But, yeah, we'll go ahead and end it here. Remember, please like, oh my gosh. I can't
Like,
talk.
comment, subscribe.
There you go.
Yes.
You're the YouTube watcher for the most part. Like, comment, subscribe. That is the only way that we know that we still should be doing this. We'll still try all the time, but the only way we'll know that you guys really love us is if you like, subscribe, comment. And for our Spotify users, go ahead and subscribe to our podcast.
And I would like to do one shout out.
One shout out.
One shout
You get
out.
one.
I get one shout out per video.
One shout out per
And
video.
I just want to shout out this family's favorite YouTube channel, The Rush Fam.
Yes.
We
Paisley.
love them so much. Paisley just dances to their theme song every time we turn it on. She loves the kids, and Trey. And we just love you guys. So if you ain't with the squad, you ain't popping.
And if you ain't with the clink scales, you ain't clinking.
Wow.
That's not gonna work.
We're not taking that.
Yeah.
We just love you guys, and you can visit their channel in the description box below as well.
Thank you guys.
Bye.